Welcome to another art school video. Today's lesson is all about the elements of art. The elements are the building blocks or parts of any composition. They are line, shape, form, color, value, space, and texture. These pieces work together to create a strong and unified composition. If elements are overlooked, your composition will most likely be weak, boring, and unattractive. It's time to learn more about color and value. Let's begin with value. Value is the lightness or darkness of a color or area within an artwork. It is how light or dark something is. We perceive objects around us based on how much light is reflected. The more light that is reflected, the lighter the object. The less light that is reflected, the darker the object. Black and white will create gray. The more white you add, the lighter the gray. The more black you add, the darker the gray. You can create an infinite number of grays by mixing black and white in varying proportions. This will create a gray scale or a value scale. The value scale can be separated into three parts. The darkest values are called the low-key values and can be used for shadows. Next are the mid-key or mid-tone values. The lightest values, which are called the high-key values, are mainly used for highlights or very light objects or parts of a composition. Black, gray, and white are achromatic colors. This means that there is an absence of hue. Color is a property of light. The visible light spectrum is made up of different colored wavelengths, and color is what we see when this light is reflected off a surface. For more information on how we see color, check out my previous video. The link would be in the description box below. Color has three physical properties: hue, value, and saturation. A hue refers to the purest of colors that correspond to the colored wavelengths of light. You can find these colors on the outermost ring of a color wheel. For example, there are many red colors, which are all derived from this red hue. So we can say that this red hue is the parent color. This turquoise color belongs to the blue-green hue, and this pinkish color belongs to the red hue. A hue or a color can be altered by adding another color to it. The second property of color is value. Value is the lightness or darkness of a color. When we add black to a hue, we decrease its value, creating a darker color called a shade. And when we add white to a hue, we increase its value, creating a lighter color, which is called a tint. The third property of color is saturation. Saturation is the intensity of a color, how bright or how dull it is. We can change a color's saturation or intensity by adding gray to it. When we reduce a color's saturation, we create a tone. Another way to reduce a color's saturation is by adding its complementary color, the color that is opposite on the color wheel. This creates a neutral or muted color. What a pretty flower! What just happened? Where did all the color go? Can you tell which is the red colored pencil? Which one did you choose? Every color has a relative gray tone or value, meaning that this red color reflects the same amount of light as this gray tone. The color yellow is much lighter than the other colors of the spectrum. This is because it reflects the most light. Therefore, its corresponding gray tone will also be very light in comparison to the others. Purple and blue-violet are the darker colors, and their gray tones will be very dark as well. The ability to identify and use value is very important to drawing and painting. For example, two different colors could have the same value. So it doesn't only matter what color you use. The values, how light or dark something is, really matters. Value helps to describe and differentiate objects within a space. By using contrasting values, artists can separate objects in space. For example, the noticeable difference in value of the mid-tone grays of the leaves against the adjacent low-key, very dark tones creates an edge. This separates the leaf as the foreground from the background or negative space, whereas gradual changes or shifts in value suggests form. We can tell that the apple is round because there is a smooth transition from light to dark. This shows the effect that light has on a three-dimensional object. That wraps up our lesson on the elements color and value. As always, I hope you learned something new. Thank you for watching. Let me know what topic I should cover next. And like, comment, and subscribe for more art school videos.